And now, ladies and gentlemen, 12 rounds of boxing scheduled for the WBA Light Heavyweight Championship of the World. Introducing first, the challenger. He fights out of the red corner. His professional record, 16 victories, 1 defeat, 1 draw. Craig Spider Richards. And his opponent across the ring fighting out of the blue corner. He is the defending world champion. His professional record, a perfect one. 17 fights, 17 victories. Here is the reigning, defending, undefeated WBA Light Heavyweight Champion of the World, Dmitry Bivol.
World champions in the last 18 months or so. Will it be third time lucky for the reigning British champion, Craig Richards? He faces, for the first time, a world title and a world champion in Dmitry Bivol. Your commentary team for this one.
Craig Richards, a 10-1 underdog in this one. Put in a bit of a performance tonight, and he needs to as well. Castillo, and you talked about this guy earlier, Paul, and
set for him, become a positive for him.
Yeah, what Richards needs to be careful of, Nick, is just him coming to his own. He pressures on the front foot, defends coming forward. A little bit Canelo-esque, a little bit Usyk-esque.
He said we've got to judge the distance as well. He said you look at Bivol, he uses that lead foot as a marker of his own. His body shot downstairs there.
Up to the body from Richards there. When you're on the receiving end of that, it tires you so quick. We can't understand what's being said in the Bivol corner, but he looks very, very comfortable.
To bring that jab hand back fast, that's when you'll get caught over the top with it. Just see it there, he pushes it out well, good speed.
Down back, jab down, and he just push it out and get it straight back. There's the left hook again. So you'd expect it, and then bang, the right hand will come over the top.
Exchange.
From Richards, it'll just stop Bivol in his tracks a little bit from just coming forward, trying what he wants.
Easily here in this second round, Bivol. Oh, that
for my liking here.
And again, picking up those jabs.
Feels that power, it gives them the extra time that they need to go to work. And this is what we're seeing.
Father graced this arena many times in the past, ended his career here as well, but we won't talk.
A byproduct of the surname, but of course what comes with it is an enormous amount of pressure.
Seconds out.
As you say, he's being made to think here, and I think he's already...
But you've got to get that jab out. Try and time Bivol for when Bivol makes them lunge.
At base and long levers, Craig Richards, he is well set for that full counter right hand.
So clever, Bivol.
Clever again there. Really good response from the champion as this one catches fire here in round 3. Offensive boxer like Dmitry Bivol had a little moment in there, Spider Richards, and then Bivol...
Eyes against someone of the size of Richards will just neglect the jab, standing there trying to out-jab Richards with the height difference. As we see Bivol after the flurry, get the fight back into his favour.
You know what, though, Richards went Philly shell on the ropes there and actually completely walking through him at this stage, still just taking his time. Just see the weight inches forward, that weight kind of up, and that's the danger. Every shot that he hits you with is hurtful.
On punches, and for the technical boxers with bad hands nowadays, they're a puncher's glove. There's not much
to win if he wants to win this fight.
He has the assets to win it, Nick. Make the jab more dominant. I'd like to see Richards try and target the body of Bivol.
As we get down to the last 30 seconds of this fourth round.
For Richards, has to keep his composure. Don't lose your shape. Don't come up too hard. You've got to keep your composure now.
I think as well, to the untrained eye, this has looked like a bit of a round of in. Otherwise, he would just be marauding forward, which he isn't.
Former stablemate of Paul Smith. Paul, of course, has packed it in these days. Give a go to Bivol defending his WBA Light Heavyweight title. First time this belt has been in 1964. Willie Pastrano beating.
Key in this fight for both fighters, in my opinion. Richards, I'd like to see him become more
jabs, keep the distance. Make Bivol just start reaching in and see if you can...
Nick, I mean, we saw the side-on view just a few moments ago. We can see it here. Because Bivol is better, though, from Richards.
Good shot from Richards, but it's going to come comfortable for Bivol at the moment. You have to land, you have to go for it, you have to leave it in the ring. Landed, and he landed it very well. You know, the rest can come off that, then build.
Oh, and he has enough time left in the round. That's going to be where his opportunity will come. But if you're lucky, he hasn't really had many so far in this fight. If he does get one, and it's a big if.
Completely one-sided rounds or eye-catching stuff. He's just doing enough every round, and that's what sometimes a talented fighter, a really quality fighter at a very, very top level, has been both amateur and professional.
They're wide. All the judges are seeing them very wide indeed, and it's tough as we go into the 6th round. It's a formula that works for.
A matter of time before he has to start throwing that shot, because Richards is doing the glance it, miss it slightly, and then Richards starts moving to the
back. I mean, his jab's still working pretty nicely too. And as you say, Paul, Bivol's winning the majority of each round.
The thing with boxing, sometimes what the average fan on the couch may not realise. Ready until it's there, don't give him a taste of it.
He had the last word there, Richards, but Bivol is...
You've got it in your artillery, let it go and do it.
So we're at the midway point of this one. The British champion.
And Paul, I know one thing that Gallagher teaches your fighters is catch and counter with the same hand, but this was...
And them type of shots and that type of advice from the corner is good advice.
I was talking to Peter Sims in the week. He said, we've got to try and back Bivol up a little bit, because he backed...
Bivol's also good, again, because of his old amateur pedigree and amateur experience.
Nicely blocked off again there by Bivol.
To range, which is, as I've just been saying, is what Bivol likes to do. He'll come in, he'll land it.
Bivol going for it here, and that's when he could be vulnerable.
Well, not something he wants to do, and he was caught a couple of times in the crossfire there.
I should be getting used to it. I'm flying out to Russia on Monday morning to watch my brother Liam fight next Friday. Not the same, just more of the same. Keep chipping away, more of the same. He waits to see what you've got, and then when he knows it's safe to do so, he can't just wait and let Bivol dictate, which he has done for the previous 7 rounds.
Bivol is certainly more competitive than some of them have been, and we have to remember that until they meet, Bivol is the best in the world by a stretch here. And Richards is boxing well. He's just landing 3 or 4, and he's being the aggressor, and he's dictating the pace as he is now.
See if that changes things up a little bit, but you know, I'm with you guys. It sounds like we've...
I just think he'll criticise himself when he watches it back. I think he'll feel like he can now.
Chisora is in the house. How many times has he... Plenty to come before that, of course.
I'll keep this position, and then we'll see what Dmitry Bivol has got.
The hand of Craig Richards has been
You're in there with him. It's so easy to say that Richards needs to pull the trigger.
You've noticed his back hasn't touched the ropes once. He hasn't been near them.
Found him well, didn't he?
He's keeping the centre, and this is better for Richards. It's a good little spell.
There's a lot missing from both of them in this round. Combatants are in the building. Andy Lee just behind Joseph Park. Here, Craig Richards is the man that needs to do something a little bit different.
Round 10.
Round 10 then.
And technically he was far better than Buglioni in the early stages. Been overawed at any stage, not looked majorly hurt at any stage. Nice right hand there.
Yeah, that long right-handed right-hand counter comes in, but Bivol again responds as he does.
At the moment, coming back, but he has to keep it on him now, Bivol.
Just decent from Richards.
The body is such a big target for
here, but you know, assuming it goes out like this, I totally agree with you, Chris. He's not going to be disgraced.
That's how he got Shaq and Pitties and hurt Jake Bolton, but he's in a firefight here.
The experience comes in. You've just seen Bivol trying to put his foot on the gas for the last 30 seconds there.
He was. I can't help but think, you know what, I wish he'd been doing this 4 or 5 rounds. Bivol, as you say, always comes back with something. He never allows a good...
Very best at the moment, but I always wonder about his work rate, his fitness, his desire.
He's never had an opponent to take him out of that comfort zone, has
Peter Sims shouting in the corner, body head. It's good advice, you know, I'd like to see...
Peter Sims drop the left hook in there as well. Again.
Sounds to do this to Bivol, to sort of put Bivol back into his shell and on the back foot.
Beaten, classy world champion.
Not showing too much respect to Bivol, which he was guilty of doing early on. He's holding his own.
Works it again. Well, he neglected the body through the...
Such, and it's not a put down, it's actually a positive where he's in here with a world champion, one who many, as much work as he's doing in these last 4 rounds. These last 4 rounds, what Chris was saying before, you know, and he hasn't done enough for the last 3 rounds.
Well, 1 round left then, either. But surely he needs to, at the very least, put Bivol on the floor. Have this last round at a very, very slow pace. It's Richards that's got a
real work ethic or work rate from him.
But he doesn't need... There he is, holding a seconds, getting himself closer to the final bell. That's nice from Dmitry Bivol. Has really put on a very, very impressive...
Can mix it at a level above what he's been competing at in future, in the past.
Well, Richard put it all together in these last few seconds, and Bivol, smart. And that'll do it. Well, Richards... 100% with you, Paul. Craig Richards and Peter Sims will take an awful lot out of this performance.
So they've just done a little bit more in those rounds, and maybe I'd have had the success I had late on a little bit. They've just done a little bit more in the middle rounds instead of taking the last 4, which I gave Richards a questionable fight about the decision, because you take 6 of them rounds. Obviously, it doesn't take a brain surgeon to see. You're going to be in with a shout. There's, you know, it's tough at the moment for fighters. I don't think me, when I was fighters, and all the fighters on the bill, and credit to them for performing in such circumstances.
Fascinating to see how his partnership with the other junior, Chris Eubank, and in his dressing room, Marcus Morrison, will be...
Ladies and gentlemen, after 12 rounds of boxing here in Manchester, England, Yuri Kopsev, 115-113. Steve Gray, 115-114. All 3 for your winner by unanimous decision.
Bivol's got it.
WBA Light Heavyweight
One had it
Champion
wide.
of the world,
The other reflected how you read the fight, Paul Smith, that Bivol had put enough in the bank. Richards pushed him so close, and he and Peter Sims will go out of this one thinking, if only.
I just think, I know Richards will watch this back, because I've been in a similar position. He's just done enough to scrape by and just to get the win. But he's got the win and he's still unbeaten.
Dmitry Bivol, the Lenin Castillo fight was October 2009. As we mentioned, the atmosphere that can be a little flat and can affect even the very best in the world. But it did go to Murata and Gennady Golovkin. He hopes by the end of the year, Craig Richards, can Marcus Morrison put in the performance of a life.
Congratulations, you're still world champion, a very competitive. May I ask you about the future? There's no secret that you want to unify the division, which you've expressed an interest in as well. What do you want to do?
I see.
Well, that Joe Smith Jr. victory about 18 months, 2 years ago now, he's aging very, very... But it was a good start for the Russian. Dmitry Bivol controlled the majority of the exchanges over the 12 rounds, and Bivol was the man who was really sitting down on the shot. Point in the contest of any note anyway, it was a nice right hand. His danger punch, the left hook was the early threat from Dmitry Bivol, and as things and really had Richards been any closer, Bivol would have done what needed to. So he will rumble on, and of course if Artur Beterbiev is a fight that can be made, Top Rank and Matchroom have got it doing so. We hope for Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury in months to come. This weekend, the world, as they say, is his oyster, and he claims he's the top light heavyweight fighter in the world once again.